Right. Hello, I'm Jenny from the A to Z of Emotional Health online library, and today I'm with John Wilson from Online Events. Thank you very, very much, John, for having this conversation with me. Um, would you like to just say anything about yourself before we continue?
Well, just pleased to be here, Jenny, and having the conversation with you and enjoying this as a part of a number of conversations that we're having in kind of different formats. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. So John, what I wanted to do today was to ask you about about how easy it is, or how easy has it been for you as a man to feel okay about talking about your feelings, about talking about your emotions, because I guess male mental health is high on the agenda at the moment, and rightly so. And I've been having conversations with a lot of guys, specifically asking them these questions. And do you know, up until now, I'm quite saddened to say that every single guy I've met has said, no, it's not been okay for me to talk about my feelings, and I don't feel that it's okay to voice my emotions and to show my emotions. So, you know, as a therapist, a counselor, I mean, emotions are the tools of our trade. How has that been for you?
Yeah, well, I'm probably in a slightly unusual part of the population when it comes to men, even within the therapy population. Uh, there's a lower percentage of males to females. I think I'm in the unusual position of being able to access and articulate how I'm feeling is an important part of my role as a therapist, as a trainer of other therapists,
Mm.
as an interviewer of many hundreds of therapists.
Mm.
For me to be able to be accessing my emotional state, how I am, is a really important and really adds to a richness of my working life, which I think is a very unusual working life, especially for a man.
Mm. But out of interest, I mean, do you think you've always been someone who's very emotional, very emotionally available? Has that come easily to you, stepping into this profession and this line of work? Or have you had to kind of work at that as a man?
I have had to work at it, and I still do. Like, if you're to talk to the people close to me, they might have a different idea about how available my emotions are to me, especially in my personal life. They might say, "Come on, John, you got to work a bit harder at
Right.
knowing and expressing." And I think I've been doing some conversations and thinking about how much the culture impacts boys at a really early age, 6, 7, 8, in the playground, in the family, where those messages about to think and to problem solve go in, they go in quick and they go in hard and deep, I think. So, yeah, it's been a real work for me also to um, not be impacted by my emotions. I think I've always been emotional, but it's been able um, to know them, articulate them, and use them in a way that are helpful for me. I think, well, now I'm on my soapbox. I think this is a real thing, especially for Scottish men, definitely on the West Coast, where there's a lot of emotional reaction, but being able to use that in a way that's helpful
Yeah.
for us and the people around us. And I think you can see that in the prevalence of alcoholism, domestic
Yeah.
violence. To me, these are all symptomatic of not being able to express emotion and to do that in a helpful way. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree wholeheartedly. And in fact, actually, globally, I think we are living in the most extraordinarily reactive times. You can pinpoint so many crises in the world which are man made.
Mm.
And I don't mean necessarily male men man made, I mean humanity made. And actually, if only um, individuals in positions of leadership and power, and even on a one-on-one basis in the immediacy of our own lives, if only people were able to be attuned to their emotions in a way that they could listen, kind of press that pause button, and you know, get involved in a bit of reflection, before taking action. I honestly think emotional education, and I could get on my soapbox on this one, because if only we could bring in emotional education into the world, I really, really think that we would stand a chance at starting to lead a more peaceful existence, a more responsive, a more empathic existence.
I could not agree more. And I think it's another way into not a management of behavior, but the capacity to know and be able to talk about how we are can really soothe us as humans. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think in terms of, I guess, the kind of coverage around suicide at the moment, I think that really hits the nail on the head, because the soothing when we are not okay, the ability to be able to be okay about not being okay, to be okay to seek help, to know where to go for help, to know that it's all right to speak, that you can do so confidentially in a confidential position, and basically that it's going to be safe. To take away that reactivity, whether it's spreading it out into the world or it's taken out on yourself, the reactivity, I think emotional literacy, our ability to relate to ourselves, sits right at the heart of that.
Yeah. Yes, I think we really agree on this, Jenny, don't we?
I
Yeah, it's
think
so
we could both
important.
stand together on a soapbox. But
Yes.
thank you, John, so much for kind of sharing, your insight, and I'm going to hold you up as a role model now for guys. This is possible. It is absolutely possible, and actually a role model for us as women to recognize. I think we have to learn as well to listen to, as our men learn to be eloquent and learn to voice their feelings. Actually, we as women also need to learn to listen to our men, because I do think sometimes there's a kind of sometimes a female approach where we want our guys to be eloquent, but we either apply pressure, or we kind of want them to be eloquent because we want them to kind of say what we want, rather than being really open to hearing that you may hold quite a different position, actually, because men and women are very different, but that both viewpoints are really helpful, especially back to that good, that sound foundation of emotions, so an emotional expression.
Yeah.
So,
Well, maybe a work in progress is
yeah,
perhaps.
I suspect
Yes.
we're all a work in progress.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a fabulous note to finish on, because actually, isn't it great to realize that life is a work in progress? There's no end goal, It's actually, how can we embrace the journey?
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you too. Thank you very much.